ToMolly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less.
Dominion Intrigue. This is the first expansion to Dominion deck building game. And as it being an expansion, we're not going to talk about how to play the game, but it is your typical deck building game. What does this add? Let's jump straight into simplicity versus complexity.
Well, this game is still simple. I don't think this adds too much complexity. There are a number of cool twists they add. You've got actions that are also victories, victories that are also treasures. So, I mean, there's a couple of things, but, I mean, it's at its core still Dominion. It didn't change any big major thing here.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It is ABCs, action by cleanup, right? So that stays the same. I do think that it does have more choices on individual cards, making it a little bit more complex. So it says choose one, you gain a card, and then depending on what it is, you do something. Choose one, choose one, choose one, right? So this set is all about different choices that you can make. You can trash it, so you don't have to. So I mean, so it makes it a tiny bit more complex in that sense. But the base rules are the same, I would say. Luck versus strategy.
I mean, I feel like I'm just doing the Dominion review over again because this didn't add anything majorly different to me. It's basically another base set in so much that you get enough to play the game with 4 here. This comes with all the appropriate number of cards. It is a base set. It's an expansion that is also a base set. So, I mean, this is very similar. Still a deck builder, so you have to deal with that randomness, but the cards themselves help you mitigate that randomness, and this is still the chess of deck builders, so there's a lot of strategy here.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I forgot to mention earlier, since it does have all of the requisite number of coppers and all the stuff you need to play, you can go up to 5 or 6 players. So that being said, yeah, I would say it's the same. You've got strategy. Everyone has the same opportunity to build a strategy on these 10 cards, but it is random, the order you actually get your cards in and whatnot. But that's a deck building game, so that's the randomness you're going to get in a deck building game. And so pretty strategic still, just like base Dominion. Fun versus boring.
This particular set I don't think is very fun. It has very fun cards, but as the set goes, I would not classify this as fun. Like Masquerade, super fun card. What do you always think of when we have Masquerade?
Oh, I always think of the song from Phantom of the Opera.
Do you only think it?
No, sometimes I sing it.
So I mean, there's a lot of fun going on here. I think the stacking of minions to really put down the hurt on other people, but then give yourself a bunch of gold. The Swindler trashes a random card off the top of your opponent's deck, and then you replace it with a card that costs the same. So I mean, it's painful, but they're still getting a similarly valuable card, similarly valued card. There's a lot going on here that is fun, and you can make really cool combos out of. But man, I tell you what, this game should not last as long as it does. When you're playing a 2-player game, 10 minutes. 3-player game, 20 minutes. 40-player game, 30 minutes tops. But when you add this set in with all these choose 2 of these 4 options, the choices must be different. Choose 1 of these 3 options. The torturer says choose 1 of these terrible options. And so, like, man, that can get people just in there trying to min-max their turn. Like, well, if I trash this and I do this, oh, it just takes forever. Take your turn. Let's go. It shouldn't take so long. So this set is boring because it just makes people stare at their cards for longer. And I don't like watching people watch their cards. Bleh. A little boring. And it comes with Saboteur. Easily the worst card in each other player reveals cards from the top of his deck until revealing one costing 3 or more. He trashes that card and may gain a card costing at most 2 less than it. He discards the other revealed cards. Brutal.
Yeah, you could get rid of a province. I mean, you'd get a gold, but what is a gold to a province?
Yeah.
Right? Victory points to money? Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that's obviously, a lot of people love Saboteur, and they can make great combos out of it. So take that as you will. But I'm just looking at this, and I never want to mix these cards in.
So I think it's a little different. I think of this as, the first expansion of Dominion. I think it adds a lot more variety. Because you have a lot more cards. Masquerade, like you mentioned, everyone passes a card to the left, and I think that is a super fun card. It provides chaos, and sometimes I like more chaos in this game, and so that's super fun. More player interaction. It's actually like instead of playing single-player solitaire, you're interacting.
Multiplayer solitaire.
Oh, oops, yeah, because single player solitaire would be the normal solitaire game. But yeah, so you're all actually interacting, and I actually do like the combination cards because that means the victory points are not just victory; they actually do something. And this is obviously the first expansion, so it introduces that, and other expansions have that as well. And so I do think it provides some amount of fun or additional choices, but all those choices do mean a longer game. And I don't want to stare at you trying to figure out if you want to buy an action or if you want to buy money so that you can get an extra money or an extra card. Like I want you to choose. So this does make someone who already takes a little bit longer take even longer. So there's that. But I do think it's more fun, I think, than Tom does.
Let's see in our Board Game Geek ratings.
I would give it a 7. I think it's a solid game. Dominion's solid. Definitely a solid game. And so the 7.
I'd go 4. I think this is I'm just saying this is the worst expansion for me. I mean, I haven't played Guilds much or Adventure, but like this to me is the one I would least like to shuffle in so far.
Yeah. Whenever we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away free glitter painting. Subscribe because you could win the glitter painting.
It could be you that wins.
Dominion Intrigue. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.